His name was Mathew, and he was 26 years old. He spent his early 20s starting new jobs and starting new businesses, but never committing to any of them. He had many girlfriends, but none of them serious because he had always felt he wasn't ready. Mathew spent his days starting to learn new things, but never taking action. He went to college thinking that was what he wanted to do, but quit only after one semester. He went from living with his parents, then into an apartment of his own, then moving back in with his grandparents, and so forth. He never made enough to stay out on his own because he never stayed consistent with one thing before starting over. 13 years later, Mathew is now 39 years old. He lives alone in an apartment in Denver, Colorado, and for the last 5 years has been working as a night shift worker at Walmart. Mathew is now looking for a new job that excites him. He says that Walmart was too dull and just wasn't for him. He has 2 kids, neither of who he has contact with, other than once a year. Mathew had trouble staying with his previous girlfriends and was too ignorant to keep a remotely functional co-parenting relationship with either of the moms, let alone bring himself to care enough for the children other than sending $1,000 a month in childcare. Just last month, he sold his new car, which he had bought 2 months prior, and bought a down payment on a brand new one, because the last model was not good enough for his liking. He was on multiple medications to keep him from gaining weight and feeling emotion. At this point, everyone but Mathew could see that he was like a sticky note that could never stick around long enough. 18 years later, Mathew is now 57 years old. Mathew spends his days working as a remote online customer support agent. When he's not working, he watches sports or the news. He's not been in contact with his son or daughter in 5 years and has never met his grandchildren. Currently, Mathew sits in intermission with lung cancer, but has been told it's highly likely to come back. He's about 290 pounds and has never stuck to a training program in his life. The last time he was in some type of shape was his senior year of high school, when he did the first 4 weeks of cross country and then quit only 2 races in. Just last week, he had been rushed to the hospital after being too lazy to get up and take his blood thinners. Because of this, he had a heart attack. 3 years have gone by. Mathew is now the most depressed he's ever been. He is living off of unemployment and has ruined every relationship, job, and opportunity that has ever come across his hand. Mathew stood at the edge of his bed, staring down through the barrel of a shotgun. Breathing heavily, he begins to yell at himself to pull the trigger. But still, he couldn't bring himself to commit suicide. Mathew had lived from November 16th, 1990 to December 25th, 2050. Mathew would die becoming extremely ill due to the lung cancer coming out of intermission and causing multiple organs within his body to shut down. He died lying inside his bed with a note on his stomach, stating, "4 weeks ago, I tried to commit suicide, but I couldn't bring myself to pull the trigger. I've been in so much pain throughout my life, and I've realized it is nobody else's fault but my own. I'm becoming sicker by the hour, and to be honest, I can't wait until my body has officially allowed me to end this suffering. I would like to apologize to my family, which I never formally knew. I don't expect you guys to accept my apology, even though it's too late. I wish for you guys to know that I have died understanding what I have done wrong. For the first time in my life, I wish to tell you guys that I love you, both Alex and Rachel. It crushes me to realize I never get to speak these words to anyone but myself in this exact moment at the end of my life.